Hey there, health coach. Have you been taught to avoid why questions in coaching? Have you caught yourself asking questions like, why do you feel that way? Why did you do that? Why do you think that happened? And have you also heard that it's okay to ask the big why question and wonder how that's different? Well, if you're confused about how to use why in your health coaching, then this video is absolutely for you. Today, I'm going to share why we should avoid why questions, and I'll offer 5 tips for what to do instead. And if you stick around to the end, I will share the only why question that is okay to use. So let's start with why we shouldn't use why. Well, the first reason is that why questions can often come across as confrontational or accusatory and could potentially put your client on the defensive. So I want to give you some examples of some why questions. So why did you eat that unhealthy snack? Why haven't you been exercising regularly? Why do you think that counting macros is a good idea? Why didn't you complete your action steps from last week? And why do you feel frustrated that you haven't met your goals? So these are some typical why questions. And if we ask these types of questions, your client could feel a bit judged and they might shut down, which can obviously impact the coaching relationship and really hinder those open and honest communications, which ultimately could make it challenging to explore deeper issues or motivations with your client. Another reason why we don't ask many why questions is that health coaching is about empowering our clients to take control of their well-being and to make positive changes in their life. So instead of dwelling on their past actions or decisions, as why questions often do, we really want to focus on the present and the future, helping our clients identify those solutions and set achievable goals. We also don't use why questions because they don't really allow an opportunity for your clients to explore their thoughts, feelings, and their motivations without feeling judged. When we use these why questions, they may shut down and that self-awareness and that personal growth won't really take place. And then finally, we don't ask why questions because the health coaching relationship is built on trust and rapport. So we want to use more non-judgmental language and avoid why questions so that we can create a really supportive environment where our clients feel understood and respected. So if you're wondering what should we do instead of asking why questions, I've got 5 effective coaching techniques that work so much better than asking the why question. And remember, I am going to share at the end the one why question that we can use. So number 1, ask open-ended questions instead. So instead of that why, begin your questions with what, how, or tell me about, or tell me more. For example, instead of asking why did you skip your workout, you could simply ask what got in the way of exercise last week. Number 2, clarify your intentions. So instead of asking, why did you do that, which can feel judgmental, clarify your intention by asking a more neutral question, such as, help me understand your thought process and decision behind that. Number 3, focus on the future instead of the past actions. So instead of, why did you do that, or why didn't you do this, ask questions like, what steps can you take to overcome this challenge? Or how would you like to do this differently in the future? Number 4, use reflective listening. So practice those active listening skills and reflect back what the client has shared without judgment. For example, it sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed with managing your diet. What's one small step you can take next week? And number 5, empower with positive reinforcement. Acknowledge and celebrate the small wins to help your client boost their confidence and their motivation. So instead of asking, why didn't you reach your goal, you could say, let's celebrate what you did do over the last week. It might not have been your ideal goal, but what, really helped you be successful on the days that you did it. So, are you ready for the one question where we can use why? Well, it's what we call the big why question in coaching, and it really taps into motivation and values, and it is, why is this important to you? So with this perspective and connecting your clients to their big why and why it's important, they have motivation and more commitment to make those positive changes. So there you have it. Some reasons why isn't a a great question to ask in coaching and the one big why question we can use. So by avoiding why questions and implementing these other coaching strategies, you can create a much more supportive and empowering environment for your clients that's going to bring more meaning, self-discovery, and that positive behavioral change. So thanks so much for tuning in today. Check out my next video over on the right to hear my personal story of how I overcame many of the same doubts and fears that you have as a health coach. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them in the comments. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.